She was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. Her father was the owner of one of the largest corporations in the world. She had everything a girl could ever want, but she felt empty inside. Her father married a woman who was beautiful, but whose intentions were pure evil. Soon after, he passed away, and the girl lost everything. Her stepmother turned her into a servant in her own home. She forced her to clean the house and cook food for her and her two daughters, who treated her like a dog. She wanted to take her silver spoon so that she could sell it and make some money, but her stepmother wouldn't let her. That spoon has been in our family for generations. You can't just sell it, she said. But the truth is that her stepmother only said this so no one would suspect anything. In reality, she had already sold the spoon behind Cinderella's back and pocketed the money. One day, an invitation arrived in the mail. It was for a party at the palace, where the king would be celebrating his son's 21st birthday. This was important because the king had been known to be looking for someone to marry his son, a bride who could continue his bloodline. Cinderella's stepsisters were ecstatic and immediately began preparing their outfits. "You will come with us?" her stepmother said, smiling wickedly. "You will be our maid for the night." Cinderella tried arguing against it, but she knew there was no use. Her stepmother wasn't going to change her mind. So Cinderella spent the entire day doing her stepsisters' makeup, helping them pick out the perfect outfit, all while crying on the inside. As soon as they left, she went to the bathroom and looked at her reflection in the mirror. She didn't recognize herself anymore. She used to be such a happy person, but now she was nothing more than a servant. As Cinderella was taking off her makeup, she heard a knock at the door. "Come in," she said. To her surprise, it was her stepsister. "I forgot my comb," she said. "Can I use yours?" Cinderella handed it over, and the girl quickly did her makeup again. "Thank you," she said, and then she left. When the bathroom was empty, Cinderella took a deep breath and looked at her reflection in the mirror. She realized something. She might be just a servant, but she was still a beautiful girl. Maybe all she needed was to be seen. So when her stepsisters came back to get ready for the party, Cinderella told them, "I want to go with you." They both started laughing. "You? What are you talking about?" one of them asked. "You can't possibly think that we would take you with us." Cinderella got angry and said, "Why not? I'm your sister, and besides, I'm the one who helped you get ready." "Oh, please," her stepsister said. "We don't need you. We don't even like you. You're just a burden to us." Cinderella felt tears coming up to her eyes, but she blinked them away. "Suit yourself," she said. "But don't come crying to me when you don't win the prince's heart." Her stepsisters were shocked by her reaction. They couldn't believe that she actually thought she could win the prince's heart. "Don't be ridiculous," one of them said. "No one would choose you over us. You're just a nobody." Cinderella said nothing. She knew her sisters were right, but she still had hope. She went to the closet and took out her white dress. It was the only thing she had that was even remotely fancy. Then she took out her old shoes, the ones her father bought for her before he died. They were red, high heels. They were nothing like the fancy shoes her stepsisters wore, but Cinderella liked them anyway. Then she put on a little makeup. She wanted to look as beautiful as she could, not for her stepsisters, but for herself. She wanted to feel beautiful again. Just as she was finishing up, her stepsister knocked on the door again. "I forgot my comb again," she said. "Can I use yours?" Cinderella handed it over, but this time her stepsister did her makeup as well. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm doing what you did earlier," Cinderella said. "You helped me get ready for the party? It's the least I could do for you." Her stepsister looked at her in shock. Oh, okay," she said, and then she left. When the bathroom was empty again, Cinderella did her makeup over again. She wanted to look beautiful, but she didn't want her stepsisters to know. When her stepsisters came out, they were stunned. Cinderella looked beautiful. She was wearing the same dress as the other night, but it looked different somehow. Her makeup, it was better than theirs. For the first time in years, Cinderella smiled. She was happy with herself again. She accompanied her stepsisters to the party, but the whole time she felt like an outsider. The girls from her school, the popular ones, they all stared at her like she was a freak show. One of them even said, "Ooh, look at her. She's such a peasant." Cinderella was heartbroken. She wanted to leave, but she knew her stepsisters wouldn't allow it. Suddenly a man approached her. He was tall and handsome, and Cinderella couldn't help but stare at him. "Hi, I'm the prince," he said. "May I have this dance?" Cinderella was stunned. Was he actually talking to her? The prince led her to the dance floor, and they started slow dancing. All Cinderella could think about was how perfect this moment was. She felt like a princess. They danced for what felt like hours, but it was really only 15 minutes. Suddenly the music stopped. Cinderella's stepsisters were running towards her, both of them with tears streaming down their faces. "Cinderella, you have to leave," one of them said. "Your stepsister is here, and she says you stole something from her." Cinderella was confused. She hadn't stolen anything. She looked down and realized she had dropped one of her high heels. Her stepsister was pointing at it and screaming, "Look, everyone, she stole my shoe." Cinderella didn't know what to do. She couldn't believe her stepsister would lie to the prince like this. The prince picked up the shoe and looked at Cinderella. "Is this yours?" he asked. She nodded, too shocked to say anything. "Then you must come with me," he said. He took her hand and led her away from the party. Everyone stared at Cinderella as she walked past them. She was shocked. Was the prince going to arrest her for stealing her stepsister's shoe? When they got outside, the prince let go of her hand. "I'm sorry, but I must be going," he said. "Goodbye." And with that, he got into his car and drove away. Cinderella was left standing there alone, feeling humiliated. She wanted to disappear. She took off her high heels and threw them on the ground. Why was her life so unfair? She was beautiful, but Cinderella couldn't tell if it was because of her looks or because of the way she carried herself. "Are you Cinderella?" she asked. Cinderella nodded. "I am." "Right." The woman smiled. "I've been watching you tonight, Cinderella. You are a strong and beautiful girl, but you don't see it. You let others treat you poorly because you think you deserve it. But you are wrong. You are not a servant. You are a princess. And princesses don't settle for being treated like servants." Cinderella was stunned. She had never heard anyone speak to her like this before. "Who are you?" she asked. "My name doesn't matter," the woman said. "What matters is that you believe in yourself again. Believe in your strength, your beauty, your intelligence. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." The woman reached out and touched Cinderella's shoulder. "Go home, Cinderella. You have people waiting for you who love you and want the best for you. Don't waste your life being miserable. You have so much potential. You just need to believe in yourself." With that, the woman disappeared into the crowd. Cinderella stood there for a moment, thinking about what she had said. She realized she had wasted so much time being unhappy, being angry, being a victim. But it didn't have to be this way. She was strong. She was smart. She was beautiful. Most importantly, she was loved. She had people in her life who cared about her, who wanted to help her. She just had to let them in. Cinderella threw her high heels away and started walking towards home. As she walked, she felt lighter. She felt free. She had no idea what the future held, but she was excited to find out. For the first time in a long time, Cinderella smiled. She was ready to start over.